Hey everybody, Matt Holm here with Compass. If you're a buyer, you need to listen up. I know what you're all waiting on. There's no secret. A couple things. You were waiting to get through the holidays. You had family visiting. Everyone was holding their breath on the election. What's going to happen? What's 2025 going to look like? Maybe you moved here in 21, 22, 23, 24, and you didn't buy. I know you guys aren't out there because there's been very little buyer absorption. Not because there's not well qualified people in town, but because you're sitting on your hands waiting for interest rates to magically go down to 5% at least, or 5.5%, or whatever that is. Well, you and every other buyer is ready to get in the market at the same time. We have pent up demand. 60,000 people have moved here every single year, down from 80,000 in 21, but 60,000 in 22, 23, 24, going into 25. So we have a ton of people, well qualified, moving here that are waiting just like you are. And when you all get back in the market at the same time, it will create an inflection point where all of a sudden it's going from a buyer's market to a seller's market because everyone jumps on the bandwagon on interest rates they've been waiting on. Do not wait for interest rates. You can get that interest rate right now. So I'm going to explain the process very quickly. If you have more details, I'll connect you with my buddy Ryan Leahy. He is with a more seller bridge loan program. You have to hear about this thing, and this takes a lot of the pain out of your waiting and actually some of the work that we're doing, because these guys are stepping in and pre-qualifying some of these sellers on properties you already like. So I'm going to go through the process. You put in a search with me. You put hearts next to the ones on Compass MLS that you are liking. Those automatically get linked to Ryan and his team. They call the sellers in advance of the ones that you just liked and say, hey, we see, and they can actually go back and look and see what their interest rate is. They're sitting on a 2.5 rate, a 3.5 rate, a 4.5 rate, and they say, hey, listen, we have a very well qualified buyer. They're very rate sensitive. They don't want to pay 6.5%, 7%, and they really see an opportunity here. What we can do is maybe meet in the middle. Maybe you give them a 5% rate. That seller is going to make some money between their 3.5 rate and their 5% rate. You're going to get 1.5% off current rate, and it costs less than a traditional loan program for you as the buyer. So it's a win-win-win. And they're calling on our behalf before we even look at the property. They can pre-vet the sellers that are willing to offer you a 5% interest rate. Super powerful, not waiting, not getting into a competitive market again, taking advantage of low pricing right now and getting a low interest rate. It's a win for everybody. So that's vital. Now, is every seller going to want to do that? No, of course not. Some of them are going to be reticent. They just want to get out. They don't want to continue to offer any financing, even though it's making them more money and it's saving you money. Not everyone's going to want to do that. So then we pivot and say, hey, would you give a $20,000 credit to the buyer to be able to pay for a loan buy down? And now you're getting that 6.5% rate and buying it down to a 5.875 or better. And so we have two strategies. We're pre-vetting sellers that are saying yes to these. We already know that we've got some flexibility. We already know we can get you a lower interest rate, and you've already hearted the property. So these are properties you would have looked at anyway. And the part of the work, the hardest part in getting that payment to something that you like and getting the seller happy has already been vetted. We already know we're on the same page. It's a matter of going in, looking at the house. We decide if it's the one for you, and we get you your rate, and you get it at a time when we can get great values. We are still not in a seller's market. When the rates organically go down to the rate that you're looking for and every other buyer that's moved here, it's going to be too late and the inventory is going to shrink. Right now you have options, you have pricing on your side as a buyer, and you want to get ahead of the flood. Also, we're looking at mid-January right now. Catastrophic fires in Malibu, Palisades. It's horrible. I'm offering stuff with my team to be able to help do leases for free for people that need to come out here. We're really trying to help those people in the next few months. There's going to be a wave of Californians. I know we've had tons coming here already. This is going to accelerate it for people that even had Austin in the back of their mind. So besides the organic 60,000 people a year, there will be an uptick this year simply based on need. It takes 7 years to rebuild a house in Malibu. You can move to Austin for 7 years, raise your family, and move back into your house if you want to. But they're going to come here, and they're going to be buyers. This is allowing you to get ahead of any wave that could possibly get here this year. Buy a house at a good price before interest rates get down, and you bandwagon with everybody else. Call me. I can give you details. I'll connect you with Ryan. This is a program that is powerful, and every buyer should be using this. Talk to you soon.